So good day. Today is we will be just discussing about the introduction to Bazel. So if you have any questions, just save it after the presentation is done. So let's start. So why we use Bazel? We use Bazel because it speed up your builds and tests. Because it uses cache all the time when you run builds and tests. For example, when there's a lot of dependencies, after running it once, you'll just cache it. So that's one reason. So next is you only use one tool for multiple languages because Bazel supports multiple languages like this one, Java, C++, Android, and so on. And it can run to like many operating system, which is these three, Windows, Mac OS, and Linux. And next is it is scalable. Right now is we use it for our monorepo project, but you can use it for like uh, simple projects like a single API or a single web. But uh, but its main purpose for me is it's more usable when you use it in a monorepo. I can show it to you later and for examples for this one. Then next, lastly is extensible to your needs. Right now is I mean today Bazel is an open source, so there's a lot of like a community that helps the Bazel. And also example, if there's no packet, I mean if there's no rule support that right now in Bazel you can create your own like custom rules, so it's very extensible. So that's it. Next part is when installing Bazel, I is really recommended to use just npm. But in the documentation here in the Bazel, you can install it like when example in Ubuntu, you can install it using apt here. But it says here that it is very recommended to use the npm. I also use this one because it is very easy to install and also easy to remove, like so when I should. So to install, just run this command here, this one. Then if you want to uninstall it or change version, I mean, first is to uninstall, just run this one. It's installed globally, then that can paste the package. So if you want to install, so I mean, install different version, so just I mean, npm install globally, then I mean the version number. So it's very easy to manage. It's very manageable when you use the npm. So how to use Bazel? First, Bazel support in a code base. Bazel looks up for a file named build file, and in that build file is you will store like the procedure on how to build your project. Then also it looks up, yeah, I mean it looks up in like for a workspace file also. In the workspace file is like where you put your dependencies to that project. Like example, node modules, Docker containers, and etc. So I will show sample that later. So lastly, this is the last page. So here is the commands that is posted in their official website. So for me right now is I haven't used all these commands, but uh, the commands that I usually use is this one, the build, clean, and run and test. So I just show samples later. And also, for our CI/CD in GitHub Action is we use the query and also the reverse dependencies. We will discuss that in later. I mean, in next topics because it's like more advanced. So we must learn the basics first. So I guess that's it for the presentation. You have any questions, Are?
Mm, what is the difference between Basel and Basilisk?
Basilisk is like here in their official docs. So you can see the web page.
Oh yeah.
So Basilisk is like a launcher only for Bazel. So you use Basilisk if you need to switch different versions, like that. It's only a launcher for Bazel.
Okay.
Oh, any more questions
Um, I think that's all because
for now?
I mostly know I use Basel little, so I know a little of that. Thank you. Thank you.
Uh, okay. So the next part is I will show to you like samples and I will just discuss. I will walk you through this one. So here is my onboarding, which we also did here in our company. So this is the GraphQL onboarding. So this one is I will also uh, your onboarding exercises. I will also ask for you to do this one. Implement Bazel to your repo and add me as a collaborator in that. So I will just walk you through first. So here I mean, as I was said earlier, Bazel looks up for two files in a code base. So this one, the build file and the workspace. Just open it side by side. So here in the workspace, it will define like all the dependencies. Oops, there's a doggy. So here is you define the dependencies. The example here is, I mean, yes, you define the dependencies and how you manage the dependencies. So like here, we need Dockers for this one to create Docker image and also node image. It will pull, will pull the Docker, the node image in the Docker hub. So that, all the dependencies you define here in the workspace, like the npm install and the node repository. So you will encounter like example, you will run a command in Bazel, then you will encounter an error that this dependencies is not defined in the workspace. So somehow it is very user friendly, that part. So you just have to, it will be written here in the terminal. So you just have to copy paste it and put it in your workspace. So there's nothing too much to discuss here because it's I just like what error I encountered running the Bazel commands. I just put it here in the workspace. So the main purpose here, the main like yeah, the prerequisite is you must put it. You this one the workspace rule to just copy and paste it there.
Hmm. Can I have a question?
Oh, okay.
Um, is this manually created, or there's a command that will automatically create the required files like the built-in workspace and
And
then it
no,
all have
there
variables?
it's all manually.
Okay, okay.
So
So where do you get?
when you create a default workspace, so it's just this one. the workspace, then the name of the project, the managed directories. So here in like this is a node project. So we put the node modules as the managed directories because after that it will be cached and it will not npm install every time you run Bazel command.
Okay, okay. Why is there two HTTP archive name?
In HTTP archive is like, wait, I will just collapse this all. The HTTP archive is like you are pulling a rule from the Bazel and use it in your workspace. For example, I will copy this one. It's like if you have experience in Dockers, right? So it's like a Docker pool in Bazel.
Mm,
So you want to pull a rule. It is called rules here that you want to use in your workspace. So, so, so the GitHub page here, and that's it. And release. I forgot where's the documentation, but I will just put it in the Notion docs. So
mm,
it's like it's that's why there's multiple TTP archive. So where's that one? So like it
wait.
will pull this rule, the Node.js rule. So it is written in the like in their GitHub uh, page. This one. So I just copy and paste it. So example in this project, this is a Node project. That's why I pulled the Node.js tool for it to use the Node.js and also this one, the Docker, because we will be creating like a Docker image for this project.
Okay, okay.
That's it.
That's all for.
And also in right now this is just like a single project, but if you want to in a monorepo like this one is in a node project is you will put all the packages here in a single package JSON. Like for example, for the web, we'll put the package JSON here. I mean the packages for API also for a Node API and a Node.js web app project. So it's just one npm install and it will be reused by multiple projects. So like that. So I mean what like I've said earlier, it is like very user friendly. So when you encountered like errors here when running Bazel commands, it will post. I mean, it will write in the terminal like
Mm,
the dependencies that you need to install in your workspace. So it's very user friendly in that part. So that's it for the workspace. Then for the build file is here is you will load the this one is also here. It is also written in the GitHub pages. But the purpose of this one is example, back in the workspace. So we archive, I mean, we pull this rule and we use its we reuse, I mean, we load that rule here and use its like rules, another rules here. These are called rules, the JS library, Node.js test, and npm package bin. So example here, this one. This is a rule to run like a test for the API using Mocha. So I will walk you through the first is let's start here the top. So we load the rules to be used here in the build. Then package visibility is in a single project is you can remove this one, but in a monorepo this it is like required so that it is visible for the other projects. Then in the first this I mean this project is TypeScript. So we have dev dependencies, type dependencies, and dependencies. So in the package JSON is you just copy and paste it. For example, the dependencies. So these are all the dependencies. I mean dev dependencies, except the types, because these are the type devs here. So this one in the dev dependencies, except the types. These are all dev dependencies. We will put it here. Then they will like the prefix is the at npm because this is what you put what we put here in the managed directories. For example, is if you rename it like abc, so it is like abc here at abc. That's it. I you're still there, Cesar.
Yes, yes, boss.
So next is, I mean, after this writing here, the dependencies, type debts, and dev dependencies. You get this part here. Yeah, this one. After I mean copy paste it. You must remove also the version and
Mhm.
you write it here when you paste it here. Then next is the ts config rule. So here is how you initialize like a ts, I mean a TypeScript project. Just the name is you can put any name you want, and the source is the ts config JSON. So I'll just put the link in the docs afterwards on the, I mean to these rules. So the source is the ts config JSON one. Then this one is our build rule. So in a so you have I know you have experience in a TypeScript project. So if you want to build I mean to compile your project, your TypeScript project to JavaScript, so there's a command for that. Like this one, I think I have here. So this one, so just run the tsc command. So in this part, in this rule, is we will be building our projects and convert it to JavaScript. I mean compile it to JavaScript. So the name is you can name anything you want, but for simplicity, we just name it build. So for the sources is the sources you want to uh, I mean to compile. So all the TypeScript projects, and you will exclude the specs for the tests. So this one, you'll exclude this one spec.ts. So this one is when you visit this in the official talks. Okay. So there's like a explanation. I mean in every release property, I guess that there's within a rule. So like this one declaration map to. So I just copy. I mean I'll just copy and paste what's the example of their docs. So just copy and paste that. Then the ts config is specify this one. Then the dependency is these three. So just do this one, add. So there are sometimes example that we don't need the type dependencies to a certain like rule. So just remove this one if you don't need the type dependencies. So we're done building our project. So next is the lint part. So here in our package JSON is we have a lint here. Lint command. So this is the command ESLint that then extend to TS files. So this one is the npm package bin, this built-in uh, tool for the Node.js. So for the arguments is just put this one, the .txt and .ts. So that's what it is here. Then again for the data, same with the TS project, is you use glove and all the TypeScript files, then plus the dependencies, and also the package JSON test config and this ESLint tool, file, the ESLint ignore and the ESLint RC. And then output directories too and the tool that will be used. So npm ESLint, then the ESLint file. Let's npm install first. You can find the rule, the tool you want in the node modules. You just have to open these the node modules. Example, npm ESLint. Yeah. Then bin, then this ESLint. So it will return an error if you put .js there. So just ESLint.
Okay. Are these all required, right? It's said on the documentation.
And there's like an optional property in these rules. So this one, what put here are all required fields, but there are optionals. There are many properties left that I didn't use here. Example in this one npm package bin. Let's visit this one. So here are the properties in this rule, the npm package bin. So there are tool, package bin, many more. I guess these defaults too is like the optional properties. So if there's a none, I guess that's the required one.
Okay.
Let's go back. There is I just by the way, this language is the language used here in Bazel is called Starlark. So me personally is not familiar with Starlark. So it's so this is the from the Starlark language. So I'm not familiar with that. So it's just another info. So here is I declared a variable sources with this value glove. Glove is like don't know what glove is. Here's the meaning of glove. So you can just search it, sir.
Okay. Okay. Clear.
Glove. So for me, glove is like uh, all the files with this extension that That's what I understand in this one. So here sources all the TypeScript files and the tests, all the spec.ts file. So here is we will run in this rule. Is we will run the uh, unit test here in this project. So we used Mocha in this one. So the templated args is you just have to copy and paste what you have put in the package JSON. So okay, in the package JSON is these are the arguments that I have made. I just put it here. Then you require the Mocha and the TS node register, which is also here. Mocha and TS node register. Then for this one is I get this for the to the like there are samples in the website. So just copy and paste it that part. Then here is the I use the sources here in the data and the tests in the templated arguments. So I guess this is a loop, so it will run to each test here. And then in the data is also again the dependencies and these files. So in the Mocha is it looks up for this JSON file, so this one to run the tests. So you need to specify that in your data. Then ch directory is I forgot that one. So that's that's lookup. OJS. So OJS test this one chdir working directory. The working directory. So the value that I put here is the package name. Oh, here it's the sample, so I just copy paste it. So when I was studying this one, the Bazel, so I just like there's less video in the YouTube, so I just rely mostly in the official documents of this Bazel rules. That's why all what I have done here is like from their official docs. So somehow it's very reliable their documents because yeah it runs. You can really do uh your project. I mean so yeah, that's it. So next is this one, the GS library. So we use this for like when you create a Docker image. So this one, GS library is like a JavaScript library. So you will compile all your files there for it to reuse in this rule. For example, this one is our build rule. So if you have something like this, when you it will run this rule. For example, when we run this rule, this container image, so it will look up for this one, the files, that image, so this one. It will run this tool. When you run this container image rule, it will run this GS library because you made it like a dependency here. So in this rule is you made the build dependency here, so it will run this rule again when you set this one. So the files generated by this rule is passed to this one, and this one is being passed to this rule again. So you get that part, sir?
Yeah.
So it's like dependencies.
Yeah.
So here again is just creating a library, the name image, then the package name. Guess you can name this anything you want. And the sources is the build here. That's why it is you use the name. Then another array of these files. The package JSON is this one, the env file, which I didn't have here because I delete. I mean, this is a freshly cloned. I just ignored the env. And then the shell file, which is the start sh. This will be our entry point in our Docker image. Lastly is the container image. So this will generate like a Docker image. So you must have a Docker installed in your unit. So with the name, yeah, you can name it anything you want. Then the base here is the base node that image. This is from our workspace. Is this one container pool Docker image. This is the name. Then yes, the name. Then it will use this version of Docker, the Alpine version. So this base here is from this one. Then the data is user source app, which is the working directory for our, which will be the working directory for our image. Then I guess this thing. Then the entry point is you will run the shell file, is this one. So this is just a basic shell file. So this condition, if there's a build directory, so cd to that directory npm install, then node build index. So if none, so just run the npm install and node index. So again, the files is this one, the image, then the port, which will the Docker image will run. So 2014. Then repository, which will be the name of your here in the Docker images. Then stamp is for this one, the created. So if you remove this stamp here, the default is like 90 plus years ago. So you must put this one stamp, then it will put here like created 1 minute ago, like that. So user can define the user. So I just put here root. And for the volumes is the working directory of our image. So so that's it for our build file. So just for notes here, back to our documentation. This one. So when you run the build tool, which is this one, the build, you will use this one, the build command. So suppose I mean let's run it. I forgot to run. So let's just run this one, the Bazel. So Bazel build, then you will put like double backslash, then colon, then the name of the rule that you want to run. About this one build. Then for it like to be, I mean there's the debug way to like print the errors here in the terminal. So you just put here sandbox underscore debug. That's straight. So this one is it like pulls this one, the rules. But then after that npm install, because we have archive, there's an error box. Let's run it again. For the for it to clean, just run the Bazel clean.
Okay.
Just wait. So by the way, sir, you have any questions right now?
Nothing. Because it's just defined in the documentation, right? So I have to go through.
So if you have any question, why I mean when you do this on your own, just ping me. Because there's
Yeah.
too many error
Yeah.
missing input. Oops. Let's try again. So now it's finished building the project. So let's check here. Keeping. So these are the outputs. So now it is all JavaScript file.
Mhm.
So to clean this one, so just run the Bazel clean command. So that's it for when you run a build. So when you run the test, so you must run. I mean, so previously we used the Bazel build. So when you run a test, you do this one Bazel test, then double forward slash column, then the name of your test here.
Mm,
So it will return an error because I don't have the. Never mind. Let's try the. I will run the Mongo. So uh, like I've discussed earlier, it is speed up your builds and test here. This one first. So it uses cache. Go back to the VS Code. And error again. Let's try again. Let's run the test. So it didn't reinstall this one, the pooling of these
Question.
archives. Try again, let's run. I didn't push the sandbox debug. Yeah, let's wait for it. But you have question?
Yeah, as you said, Basil has patch caching, and then why do you need to clean it again? Why does do you need to clean the Basil before the running the test again? Does it not run it from failed
For me,
or
I just run the Bazel clean so that like it will remove any errors that it have encountered. Then like example, there's a package that you recently installed. So you run the Bazel clean for it to be the Bazel clean command for it to be installed in the cache. That
okay?
and also the output directory here is example like a while ago the build command it is successful. There are folders here generated by Bazel. The sandbox. So let's just wait for it to finish. Hope it won't return an error. No. By the way, when you install Bazel, so Bazel uses this directory, the home directory that cache, then these folders here. So when you do a Bazel clean, will inside the Bazel directory. Bazel like spawns VMware inside your machine, but lightweight VMware. So this one is like the instances that you run, that you have run. So when you do a Bazel clean, it will delete these files, the sash directories. So yes, the test now is running. Let's just wait for the output. So it all passed. So the output here is, I guess you can this test logs here, the test log. Here are the outputs. So pass, here's check. For example, if you have a failing test suite, so it will return, the Bazel will also fail if you have failed here, failed test.
Okay.
Then lastly is for the Docker image. So just use the Bazel command. I forgot to clean because here the Bazel directories. But you can run it, I guess. It's removed. So right now the images here is just Mongo. So I hope if it didn't error, there's a new image will be added in that right. Let's just wait again. So for your activity is I would like you to do the same.
Wala kayong mag-share ka sa screen?
Uh, Wait, I will share my screen. You can see my screen now.
Wait, it's loading. Yeah.
So for your activity is also we make use of your onboarding GraphQL exercise. So you will do the same. So you will create 4 rules: build, lint, test, and the Docker image. So yeah, just do the same on this one. So you got that, sir.
Yeah.
So I guess that's it for this discussion. So you have any more you have questions?
Can I get the site or the documentation page?
Okay, I will just send it to you
Okay,
after
thank you.
this discussion.
Yeah, that's all.
So no more questions.
I think, yeah, no more.
So I guess that's it for now. So thank you, sir, for this
Okay,
discussion, for your time.
thank you. Please like and subscribe.
Okay, see you next week. I guess. I
Yeah,
mean, yes. Oh yeah, that's all.
yeah, yeah, that's all. Thank you, thank you.